Hey everyone, this is Victor from Cyborg for Life, and I want to welcome you to episode 164 of Limb Lengthening Live, where the patients interview the guests. And today, do we have patients? It is a full house on the panel. Oh man, we have some return favorites, some new people, and some people who've been here for the last few weeks. We're going to do some updates, so it's going to be a full house. Great show. Hope you in the chat, if you have some questions for this panelist, go ahead and get them ready. You can pop them in the chat right now. But we're going to start off the show by just kind of going around the panel and just finding out what's been happening with everybody. So right now, first of all, we have somebody who hasn't been on the panel for quite a while, and I want to check in with him. NailedLegs, how's it going, my man? Hello? NailedLegs? Can you hear us? Can you hear me, Aaron? Oh, something's wrong. I don't know what's going on. Oh, man. We just went live and everything went bad. Hold on. Let's figure out technical difficulty. Un momento. All right. Let me figure out what's going on. Let me refresh the page. All right. Let's see if we can get everybody on here. Okay. Let's try this again. NailedLegs, are you there? Hello?
Well, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. J-Lo, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm just going to check with the other guests. Can everybody else hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, Ahmed can hear me. It sounds really... What's going on with this? There's like feedback and stuff. Aiden, can you hear me?
Yeah, big. How you doing? I can hear you, Will. I can hear you,
Okay,
Will.
cool. We're good. NailedLegs, I'm not getting any sound from you. That's okay. We'll come back to him. Aaron, are you there? Okay, Aaron's not there. Okay, so some of our guests are we're having some little bit of technical difficulty. I thought it was on my end for a second, but it might be on theirs. But we'll get to it. All right. So we're gonna do a little check-in with some people who this is a patient update episode. So we're gonna go around the panel, just find out what's happening. So Aaron and Aiden have been here last couple of weeks. We're gonna definitely check in with them. In fact, Aaron brought some good content, and Aiden sent me an X-ray picture from last night. But let's check in with some people who haven't been on in a while. Let's start with you, Ahmed, because I think I heard you, and then we'll go to J-Lo.
Yeah, hey, I'm pretty much, I'm almost done. I was nice and steady and slow in my lengthening phases. I was doing 0.5 a day. So I'm currently at 75 millimeters and 75 on the right, 70 on my left. So a few more days left. I have another appointment with the doctor on the 20th. So I should be done lengthening by then.
Wow. Of this month, of July 20th, you'll be done.
Yep,
Oh,
done. And the only drawback I would say is that I'm having some issues like that, similar to what Natalie had with the bone consolidation, my bone regrowth. It's there. It's just not where it needs to be at this stage. So, yeah, I'm just kind of working through that right now.
Gotcha. Okay. And you know what? It could be really rare that it just slows down during lengthening and then all of a sudden speeds up in consolidation. Let's hope that's the case. But man, that's awesome. So hopefully we'll talk to you again in a few weeks when you're done lengthening. That'd be excellent. Well, I'm glad to hear it. So it's been a smooth sailing process after that little hiccup that you had about midway, right?
Yep. Everything since then has been completely smooth. I've been stretching. I've been rehabbing. I'm doing good because I got the 75-pound nails. I weigh 150 pounds, so I can stand. I'm walking a little bit. Yeah, it's progressing. Like I'm actually happy with the results. Everything is real positive.
That's awesome, Ahmed. I'm so glad to hear it because that was a scary situation that you had there for a minute, but now you're kind of on the right track. So awesome, man. Well, can't wait. I'm pumped for you. It's July 20th. It's a mental note in here. So when that day rolls around, I think that's like I think okay, that's going to happen over a weekend because the 17th. So maybe we can have you join in and have your lengthening party. That's awesome, man. Very cool. J-Lo, you were on the show. How's it going, my man?
Going great. How about you?
Good, man. So tell us what's been happening with you.
Yeah, so the preparation is on. The other time, I think I mentioned that I'll be going to Pariha in India for tibia. So it's finally coming on next week. So yeah, I'm going for 6 centimeters in India, Pariha, next week. Yeah,
Okay.
very excited about that.
And this is using the LON technique, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, man, this is interesting. I think we're gonna have to definitely do some follow-ups with you because a lot of patients have asked about that technique on the tibia, and they've also asked about Dr. Parihar. And I think doing 6 centimeters, that's a little bit extreme for tibias, but if you can do it and you stay to your physical, it's been done before. But again, have your goal, but be observative. If something comes up, be smart,
Yeah,
right? Okay.
yeah. I'm just have to hit it, because of my starting height. I'm 168, so I want to get to around 5'8", 5'9" ish. So, I have to get my 6 centimeters. So I'm kind of preparing towards that. I'm also open to other alternative, but I'm very hopeful that I'll get our 6 centimeters. Yeah.
Okay, man. I hope so too. That'll be great. But
Yeah.
okay, so that's coming up next week. You said what day is it? Friday?
Yeah, I'll be leaving for India next week, Saturday. So
Okay.
yeah, I'll get there around, I think, in Sundays. Then the following week we do the operation, and then yeah.
Gotcha. So when you talk to him, have you lined up all the things like physical therapy, accommodations? Talk about that real quick, because a lot of patients are kind of little. We haven't really heard from Dr. Parihar. I tried to get him on a few times. Yeah, you're right. The time zone difference is ridiculous over there. But talk about some of
Yeah,
the stuff you got laid out.
yeah, he's very busy. So there is one particular surgeon who is in his team called Dr. Divya.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I mostly collaborate with him most of the times. In regards to the accommodation, as we all know, he does not personally have an accommodation dedicated for patients. So you may have to find a place yourself. But we have a couple of patients that have been there and they have a couple of recommendations. We have some hotels there. You can also book Airbnb and stuff. I'm personally going for a hotel, but then I think it does staged. So you spend like 10 days at a hospital before you're released. So after the 10 days, you have to find a place. So I'll be going for a hotel. And when you contact him to they give you a list of various options that you can choose from based on previous patients. So there are a lot of accommodations that you can look through to select the one that you think suit better and stuff. And with the physical therapy, I as far as I know, with the conversations that I have, um, you can choose to let them come to your hotel to offer that to you and you pay them. They have physical therapists, but they will come to your place. And then as time goes on, they will teach you what to do. And then if you want, you can also continue doing it yourself without necessarily them coming to you.
Mhm.
So these are the limited information that I have at the moment. And I think within the space that I'll be there till the surgery, I'll ask a lot of information in regards to that. And also write diary on that. And I'll be joining you, so I'll be giving more updates on that as time
That's
goes on.
I love that, JLo. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it because that's how we really get information from some of these clinics that, like I said, I try to get touch base with the surgeons. They're really busy or they just, their time zone difference are ridiculous. But that'll be great if you can just kind of keep coming in, chiming in, give us updates. Now, one more question. You mentioned like the physical therapist would come to you. Are you going to also work with a caretaker?
Well, yes, they recommend going for a caretaker if you want. Yes, I think that's a recommendation. They recommend that you have one, but I think you can also do without them.
Mhm.
But I'm kind of open to either. If I think I'll be able to do without them, I'll probably do without them. But if
Okay.
I need them, I'll probably go for them. Yeah,
Gotcha. And that makes sense because you do have the LON on the tibia, which is a weight bearing
yeah,
device. It does allow you to kind of weight bear a little bit more. I think in the first few weeks, you're going to really not want to do a whole lot. So maybe but you're going to be in the hospital for 10 days. That's a long time. So,
yeah, yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
Cool, man. Well, we're looking forward to it next Friday. Mental note, your
Yeah,
surgery.
let's go.
So we know that. So Ahmed stopping on the 20th. Yours is on the 18th, give or take, the 18th,
Yeah,
19th. So next
yeah,
week, both you guys. That's awesome, man. Cool, cool, cool.
yeah.
All right. So moving around the table here, we got Nailed Legs. Hopefully we can hear him. Nailed Legs, are you there? Oh, darn it. We're not getting any connection on his end. Because everybody else can hear me.
I can hear you, Big.
Okay. Aiden can hear me, and I guess everybody else can because, yeah. Nailed Legs, try to go off and come back on. Sometimes it refreshes the feed or whatever. Not sure. All right, we got Master Distractor, and he is plus 61.25 millimeters. So Matt MD is in the house. What's up, brother?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, man. Good. All right, let's do a little check-in with you really quick, and then we'll go to our two guys who were on last week because we got some updates from them. So MD, you're at 61.25 mm's, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh man, that's exciting. So you're approaching the final leg here. So talk about what's happening with you. How are those femurs looking? How are they feeling? Give us the rundown.
Feeling wise, I have no pain. I don't have any tightness. I am just basically walking around fully wearing nails, as you see on my videos.
Yeah.
So I think there's a couple of reasons for that. One of them is I got slowed down and I stopped for a bit because of the bone growth is not the best.
Okay.
But I restarted a week ago. And I am 93 days post surgery.
Okay.
So I am sad. That could be the reason why I have absolutely, like, whatever I've heard about stretching and everything, like it's nothing happening to me. So no tightness at all, no pain, nothing. I'm not even taking Tylenol anymore.
Wow.
So I stopped taking Tylenol like a month and a half ago. So like it's literally painless.
So
So that's one suspicion I have. That's just one my theory. The other theory is it could be the Botox that somehow magically does things. Other reason is I am master distractor. So and the other reason is in my opinion, Dr. G is the best in the world. So those are my four reasons to give that update in terms of how I'm feeling. In terms of like, I think more mentally, I'm a bit unhappy because I got I wanted to be done now, but I'm not. I got 20 something more to go, right? So that's other than that, it's all good.
What that's look, I mean, the fact that I would be taking what you're going through right now all day, every day over being done sooner, right? Because there's a lot of patients that finish sooner and they just had a miserable process. You've been just sitting and chilling, just watching your legs
I am
get longer.
literally chilling. Like I'm not. I don't want to say this out loud, but I didn't even stretch today. Like that is how. Like I am literally, and I also switched to physio 3 times a week now. Like they stopped seeing me because like, you don't need it. Stop. You don't need to take your money anymore.
I completely agree with that. Look, physical therapy is there if you need it. You want to just make sure you're keeping flexibility. If you have flexibility, what do you need physical therapy for? So
they're gonna come. Like we decided, like we'll just leave it until I need it, because we already paid up for the prices. Like you already paid for the physio. So let's just we decided let's just wait. If things I'm gonna get tight, let's keep it till the end because we still got 20 something left to go, right? So we're gonna leave it, and like I'll if I need them, I'll call them. They'll come over, but it's just like I don't need it right now.
No, 100%. And honestly, look, it has happened. Patients go over 60, 65, and things just, start to get exponentially harder. So it could be the case, but let's hope not. Let's hope you get to like 79.75. You're like, oh, now I'm getting tight. Oh,
we're gonna go over that 80, right? We have that.
Oh, right, the 83 that you all talk about, the mysterious 83.
Like apparently 82 here, so I have to ask about this 83. So I don't know. We'll see.
It's like hacking the game, the lengthening game. It's like we got 83. It's like finding the golden skolatolas in Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. It's like you can get 101
I don't know how to
or 100.
measure this 83. Like, how do you measure this on like a height measurement, right? So I don't know.
I have no idea. I guess they do it by the nail.
I want to max it out though, so let's see.
Yeah, you should, man. Well, you're doing really well. That's excellent. I'm so glad to hear it. So 20 more to go. What speed are you going? What rate are you going at? 1 millimeter per day?
No, I'm 0.75.
Oh,
That's
oh, did you say that? I'm sorry.
so that's probably like the main like that's my main suspicion. Like when you go slow like this, it's like no, I don't know. Like I was at 1 millimeter, but then Dr. G slowed me down to 0.75, and then after that happened, like I did have tightness and I was at one, and it was very early on, but I got slowed down after like I don't know when I was like I think 3 or 4 centimeters, to 0.75, and after that happened, like I walk. You seen my walk, right? I don't know if you seen like I walk normally. I don't have a wide gait or anything, and the tightness has disappeared.
You know,
So
I do wonder because you weren't very like you didn't have a whole lot of bulk or mass to you. I wonder if that was
no,
like
that's
working.
true. Yeah.
Yeah, because
I
so
think yeah, that's probably true. That I think that's also because like I know other patients like I in my like I talk to the other patients here, so some of them do have they don't like they're not like as pain free as I am.
mhm.
They're not in any sort of like extreme pain, but they do have other pains that I don't have. So that
Okay.
could be the reason. But there's some of them are going 1 millimeter. So
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Well, I think look, slow and steady wins the race. I think Dr. Asak said that way back when. It's one of his little terms, and it's true. You want
yeah,
to kind of go at a rate that like your body can tolerate and
yeah,
regenerate good bone, and you don't get those contractures. So that's huge, man. Good job. All right, so Aiden joined. So maybe we had him. Oh, so there's two Aidens. Aiden is one. Maybe it's one. I don't know what's going on with the software lately. It's like it's messing up with people's connection. Nail legs, are we there yet? Darn it. I don't know why.
Can you still hear me though?
Yeah, I can hear you, Aaron, and we're gonna get to
All
you
right,
for
perfect.
sure because I got your content, and I think you're gonna like smack it out of the
awesome.
park. But okay, well, let's see. We talked to JLo, we talked to Ahmed, MD just went. So let's do Aiden because he sent in an X-ray. Then I'm coming back for your nailed legs. I really want to talk to you. All right, let's see. So let me bring up. Let me share this photo of the X-ray that Aiden you sent me. I think last night or the night before. Is that okay if I share that?
Yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
cool. And then this is your most recent X-ray because you went to go get X-rays. What day?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay, cool. So
Wednesday.
this
Yeah.
this is your most recent X-ray, and I got to tell you, brother, like this is looking good. Like you have really like again based on what we're seeing here, like bone is filling in there. What was Dr. Rob because you're Billy? What was his assessment of your bone, um, regenerate and everything? Like what did he say?
He said that it looks great. He says you have great bone. He was pretty happy with it.
That's great,
Yeah.
man.
I asked him about the inside of my I think it's the left leg. Yeah, the
Oh,
left leg
like over
because I
here.
didn't see much there.
Yeah.
And he looked at it. He said, "No, I'm not worried about it. It's there." He said.
That's good because he can see
That's
it
what
on
I
a
said.
better resolution, and they have a good way of looking at bone. I mean, they're surgeons for goodness sake. So that's good, man. Look at that gap. So what's your length so far?
Right now I'm at 42.75.
42. Okay. So yeah, like that's right. You're about halfway there, a little bit over halfway. So you're well on your way, man. This is getting exciting. Look at that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
How's the muscles feeling at this point? Because some patients say that they start getting tight around halfway.
Yeah, I feel tight. I do feel tight, especially behind the knees when I'm trying to straighten out my legs.
Yeah.
That's becoming challenging. Like I have to like really push, use my strength for it. So yeah, I'm in that phase that I'm feeling the tightness at this moment. But we work hard for it every day. We do therapy, and then I do like another 3 rounds on my own. Plus I try to do at least an hour by
Hmm.
the pool. So it's manageable. I mean, I've been like this for I would say the last 2 weeks, and
Wow.
yeah, so it's steady. It's I feel the tightness, but it's steady.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
keep progressing.
That's the way to do it, man. And I think you're right on point because you haven't fallen behind. And it's like some people like MD, he's like just chilling, but you're not quite there. But it doesn't matter. It's like you just need to make sure you finish steady all the way through, smooth all the way through, because you want to get to your goal of 80 millimeters. So
Yeah, I did slow down a couple of days. I went to 3 turns on
yeah.
Saturday.
Hmm.
Yeah, on Saturday, and then yesterday I went back to 4. I talked to the doctor about it. He says if you feel like doing like do 3 turns one day, just do it. Just if you wanna stay in 4 turns, just do 4 turns. But like I remember Saturday, I was so so tight. I'm like I didn't feel like doing the last turn, so I'm like I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
And those 3 days that I went to 3 turns, it gave me a nice relief on that
Really?
stretch.
That's so
Yeah,
interesting you say that. I like that. Did because a lot of patients and I'm talking I was consulting with one the other day, and he said that he's going at it like a little over 1 to prevent pre-consolidation, but he's feeling really tight and really stiff. But I said, hey, talk to your surgeon. There's a lot of patients that sometimes go down from 4 turns to 3 turns, or they might even skip a day or something like that, just to kind of give their body a break. And you just said that, and hopefully his surgeon will listen to him and just hear him out. But that seemed to work well for you, right?
yeah, it definitely did. Like
Yeah.
I wasn't sure how big of an impact would it be to go to 3 turns, but I felt a difference. Those 3 days they were easier.
Yeah.
To tightness wise.
And then you went back to 4 turns after that?
Yeah, I started back yesterday after I mean on Wednesday. Yeah, yesterday after my X-rays.
Okay. And you went
Um,
back. That's cool.
yeah, I went back to 4 turns. Yesterday I started pretty feeling pretty good, so I'm like I'm back to 4 turns.
That's awesome. Yeah, I actually made a video on this. I think maybe it was last year, end of last year. I call it staggered lengthening, or whatever you want to call it. And I remember there was a patient that was lengthening last year, and he used this technique, and it really brought it to my attention. And he said he got through a lot, like really easily. So it's great. So awesome, Aiden. Awesome. I love that. Great update. All right. So let me go ahead and stop this, and we're going to talk to Aaron. Was somebody talking? I'm sorry, I couldn't see.
Yo, Aaron.
It was Aaron? Okay. Well, all right. So Aaron is on here. So what we're gonna do is bring up the content that he sent me last night or this morning. I don't know. I wake up at weird hours, so the days merge together. But Aaron, you are gonna talk to us. Let me just bring up your slides here. I threw them into a PDF. So let's go through your X-ray progression first. I put them into like a PDF. Oh darn, they're not so big. But you can kind of see them. So yeah. All right. So this is his pre-op. So Aaron, I'll let you go ahead and just kind of like talk us through as we go through these slides. Oh wait, he's coming back on. There you go.
All right. Awesome. Yeah. So this is my pre-op X-ray. I guess like the biggest takeaway from this is you can just kind of notice like how my femurs do look a little bit curved. Other than that, nothing too extraordinary. Dr. Robbins did measure it at about 11 millimeters. So for sure the 10.7 nails could fit in. He also noted that he didn't want to, use a bigger nails just because you don't want to risk, the bone fracture just from like reaming too much. So I got the 10.7 nails. I'm totally fine with it. It's been serving me pretty well. And I think the next page you kind of showed, this was like the X-rays from surgery day where they straighten it up.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. From surgery. Yeah. No, absolutely. And honestly, like he's so that was, I think there was, which surgeon said that, MD? Was it like Dr. G that like you lengthen into like a slight valgus or something and you straighten your legs over time or something?
I mean, a lot of them say that. I know Dr. G uses stroke entry to make sure. Well, she believes that. I think that she used stroke for most people because she believes that the alignment is better that way, and then we don't go into valgus or less valgus. But she may change it to. I think she changes based on if she needs to use a performance level. But I know I went like she used stroke on me, and I think most other people. But I think there's other surgeons I know in the other. Like I think this question a lot of people ask, right? Like this little bend into valgus that people get. It's like this very very little. So no, it's like a little shift you get, right? And you lose a little tiny bit of height on that.
Yeah, that was because of the angle, but I think they were saying something about like the nail actually kind of does bend, and then it's like you lengthen against the anatomical axis, and it kind of fixes it out, or something like that. I'd have to go back.
There's a few. Like I think there's few surgeons that say different things. I asked this question, I think Dr. Robbins, and he gave that answer. When I asked this to Dr. G, she believes the other way that. But I think I asked Dr. G again because I'm like, so those little tiny millimeters, and it's really not much difference for most people. So I mean, for me, I'm a one every single millimeter, but I don't think it's like a huge.
It's negligible at the end of the day, for sure.
Yeah,
that's cool. All right, so sorry about that, Aaron, but no, I just want to kind of clarify that for people who are watching and listening because it's really cool and to find out about that. But anyway, so this is surgery day. So pick back up, Aaron.
Yeah, I mean, not much to say here other than they put the 10.7 nail rods in it. It fits in beautifully, and I think the biggest thing here is that they now it looks completely straight. You know, I showed this thing to Aiden and also like some other people in the Discord channel, and they're like, I would think they would have to be like multiple osteotomies to straighten this bone out. But I want to ask Dr. Robbins how he and Dr. Paley did this, but yeah, I think the femur straightening kind of gave me a few millimeters, so I'm perfectly happy with that.
That's so cool, man. That's awesome. All right. And then moving along to the next day, again, it didn't fit on the page here, but this was 3 weeks in, 3 weeks post-op. And this is your x-ray. As you can see, the bone gap is getting bigger and bigger here. So as you started to hit about, what is this? How far lengthened are you here?
Let's see. 3 weeks in, I was at, what was the date on this?
I think it was 6/11.
June 11th. Okay, I was at 1.475 centimeters in.
Was it again? Say it again. I'm sorry, because
1.475.
Okay, gotcha. So about 1.5 centimeters. I gotcha.
Yep.
Very, very cool. And not much here, like in terms of like feeling different than what your 2 weeks before that were. Like
yeah, not honestly, not a whole lot. So if you follow the Stature Paley the Instagram page, Dr. Robbins, you can actually see like that real video where Dr. Robbins kind of explains to me like kind of the reasons why he broke. He worked on my right femur, so he was able to break it at an angle, which gave me some more surface area on the interior.
Oh, cool.
So apparently he said that was supposed to help with like the healing as well. And yeah, I mean, there's not really much to it on like just 3 weeks from post-op, but yeah, you can definitely see a couple of callus already starting to form.
Absolutely. No, a point on that, on the jagged edges and like the, breaking it in an unclean way. That's the same way that my tibia was broken. Dr. Conway did it. And it's like, look, when they break it like that, it's almost like a lucky break. It's like when you're playing pool and you get the 8 ball in the first shot or
Yeah.
like, because of the fact that, it does create more surface area and it gives it more grabbing points for the bone to kind of heal and consolidate better. So, because if it's like a straight shot across, it's like, yeah, it'll heal, but it's just average healing. You will probably be one of the rapid hyper healers. So awesome, man. All right. So
this is kind of like self-prophesizing, like what's like.
I know. Let's hope for that, right?
Yeah.
All right. So 5 weeks in, this was June 25th. Okay. So gap getting bigger. How much were you lengthened here?
June 25th, I have recorded 2.85 centimeters. And also, I think at this point, I still felt there was just like 2 or 3 days where I felt just a little bit of like bone pain on like the right osteotomy side. Dr. Robbins doesn't want me to say that, but anyways, no, it quickly went away, and like I haven't like felt that ever since. So, just for anyone out there, like the bone pain, all that really does go away. And then all I'm having right now is just tightness. So,
gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Very, very cool, man. Yeah, this is so cool to see this progression. And if you don't mind, like if I make like a video one time about x-ray progression, obviously there's nothing on here about your name or anything like that, but like, could I use some of these?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. Because I think it'd be so cool to see like, okay, he's at 2 weeks and it shows like the biweekly checkups to see how the bone lengthens. It'll be so cool for limb lengthening, how limb lengthening works video. So cool. All right. So then now we're at the 7-week post-op, which is yesterday, the 9th. So here we are. Look at that gap. Look at that bone regenerate. Like, holy crap. So talk about that, man. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly didn't expect that. Like, if you're comparing this X-rays, like on the, well, where I got a pen on my right pocket. So there was like an outer like shell that kind of like fused together. So yeah, I mean, my bone healing looks pretty good. Dr. Robbins said it was pretty solid. I also asked him, like, after consult. So one of the biggest things I was thinking about, it was like slowing down. So hopefully my bone healing isn't that great that I would run into an issue of pre-consolidation. But if it is, he kind of just warned me like what to look out for whenever I'm like lengthening. But no, so far I'm really satisfied with my bone healing. You can kind of like see that also in the lateral views. I don't know if you have it here, but it does give you a better perspective.
Let me get that. I think this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that really makes the bone healing pretty apparent.
Absolutely. I wish I put it on a slide, so I can't really blow it up from this position, but I think that it's incredible because you can see like you have very consistent bone like from all around, right? It's not like there's no like inconsistencies, and that is a very good indication that when the bone heals, you should be healed ready to go. That's awesome, man. It's not like where you're baking a cake and some part of the cake's not cooked. It's like you're ready to eat, you know? That's awesome,
Yeah.
man. I gotta say this is so cool. And then you also brought, let's see, is that that's the end of that. This other document, let me just bring that up. Oh, I had to refresh it. Hold on just a sec. Slides. All right, so talk about this, Aaron, because I think this is really cool what you did here.
Yeah, sure. So before surgery, and like I made a whole spreadsheet already planned out, like how many turns I could do per day before I was able to reach my goal height. I even have like other stuff, like if I were to do tibias in the future, I probably won't, but if I were to do tibias in the future, how much I would have to lengthen in order to like get my biomechanics or ratio back to normal. But anyways, what you see here is basically all the days, all the dates I have highlighted in pink are like the checkup days with Dr. Robbins. On the right is like how much my ERC is reading, how many turns I would have done per day. And I guess like the main thing here is that I'm able to pretty much slow down to like 3 turns on the weekdays and then 2 turns on the weekends after I reach 5 centimeters. And that will hit me I would still reach my goal of like 7.2 centimeters by the end of my last checkup, which is August 20th.
Wow.
So yeah, and I have the PT sessions like also there. So on the days I do have formal like physical therapy, those are the days where I'll do 3 turns, and then on the weekends I'm just pretty much taking it easy, so I can afford to do 2 turns. And I think that would really help, with the maintaining my range of motion and also just help with the muscle tightness. I haven't like gone to like 3 turns consecutively, but from what I've heard from Aiden and many others, apparently it does make a huge difference. So I just can't wait until I feel that.
Because you really haven't felt that much tightness. Like you're going to physical therapy every day. You're doing the pool where you're staying. I
Absolutely.
mean, yeah, like so you're really doing exceptionally well. What is the feedback from the team there? Like Dr. Robbins and stuff. Yeah.
Well, for sure. I mean, I'll be able to easily like extend my knees like all the way straight and all the way back. I mean, even though I do feel like things are getting tighter, I'm still able to like get to 140 degrees on pretty much both of my legs. So I think it's been pretty positive so far. My goal is just to pretty much maintain as much as that until I reach like 600 meters, and then I can give myself a little bit of grace. Well, if it drops to like 120 degrees, I'm perfectly fine with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's great. A funny thing is I've also tried to like, crisscross my legs, and Angelique was kind of like impressed with that. But Dr. Robbins told me, don't actually do that, because you don't want to actually like risk breaking that the P2 crown. So yeah, for anyone who's like thinking about doing that, just the nail is good for lateral movements, but don't try to risk like rotating it. So.
I see. So like rotation, like that with your foot. Like
sorry, can I add on to that, Victor? Like that is something we are explicitly told not to do. Even though we're walking around like crazy, like a lot here, we're explicitly told do not do this like crossing of the legs, and that's like we're told very explicitly not to do that. So that's one of the movements we really avoid here.
So when you say crossing the legs, you just mean like kind of folding your legs?
I'm having trouble hearing. Can you?
Yeah, like just crisscrossing like applesauce.
Got it. That crisscrossing applesauce. Got it. That understands. So like almost like the Indian, like sitting like with your legs both like kind of folded in. I gotcha.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow. Yeah. No, that's crazy. But can you do we shift one leg if it's straight, bringing it over the other leg?
I think that's fine, but like when you try to like force it to like be like this, like like towards you, I think that's when you're applying a little bit too much like torque. I think I didn't know that before, and so I'm kind of glad like I did that in front of him, so he told me, all right, don't do that anymore, because I had been doing it quite a bit. But yeah.
Because I guess Aaron, you're doing so well, and it's like your legs feel kind of normal, and you're like, oh, I can just do this, but
yeah.
It's more about the actual implant that you don't want to like damage. So man, it's exciting. It's so cool to see somebody like you do so well and like have all this tracked progress and stuff. I mean, all you guys are doing really well so far. I mean, even Aiden's doing well now that he kind of learned out how to kind of stagger his lengthening. And I like that you have this how much you distracted each part and how many turns you can do on this chart here, so you can kind of like cruise control yourself all the way to the 7.2 or 7.3. Is that what you're going for?
Yeah, like 7.1 or 7.2. I mean, I'll know if I want to do some more future turns once I reach that point.
Okay, very cool, very cool. Well, keep the updates coming, brother, because like I said, this is going to help. People can refer back to these episodes if they ever reach out to you or they talk to you. Then you're like, yeah, you go check out this episode, and it's like, yeah, I share all this information and stuff. So that's super cool, man. All right, so we got let's see who else joined. MD was on here. Okay, so let me go ahead and stop sharing this. Let me see, how can I hide this? Zach, you're on the show.
So,
How are you, man?
For Aaron
Hey, so-
and I'm sorry, the other Aiden. I think you guys I talked on Discord. I'm just curious because
Yeah.
I'm having trouble hearing. What are you guys? What are you guys at right now?
I'm at 4, so we're pretty much surgery twins, but I'm at 4.3
Yeah.
centimeters right now. 4.3.
4.3, Aaron.
Yep. I got to do one more turn for it to be 4.325, but yeah.
Yeah.
And what are you, Aiden?
I'm 42.75. So,
Okay, so just a half
4.2.
That's great. Are you done for the day? or
And
got
but
another
did you
one to
guys
go?
have surgery?
Yeah, we had surgery together on the same day.
No, what day? Like what
May
time?
21st.
Like what? Oh, okay. So
yeah.
you had it like month and a half after.
Well, he was like 1 hour apart, but but yeah, we're I think a month and a half like from you, I think.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
That's awesome. That's so cool that you have a track like that. And yes, you guys are just literally surgery twins and stuff like that. That's so cool to see who finishes first. I'm just kidding. That's awesome. All right, so let's see. We have quite a bit of people. So we got Zach on the show. Yeah, so we went through everyone here. NailedLegs, any progress?
His
Is he
mic's still
there?
not working.
Yeah, NailedLegs, did you try to go off and come back on? Try that really quick. Let's see, because I want to get you before we go into the live chat.
I did that. Now I'm stuck on like I can't put my speakerphone on. I'm trying to stretch, so it's very hard.
Man, I'm gonna have to talk to support again. But
Yeah.
it's so crazy because like all the software out there, like I tried other software,
Yeah.
top ones, and they're not working either. So it's like this is the best one.
No.
It's not the money. It's like I'll pay for whatever. It's like just give me one that works. So
Yeah. No, I'm like
anyway.
literally holding my phone while I'm trying to do a quad stretch before I could like just put it on speaker. I'm like holding, like talking to you, like like old school with a phone with a cord kind of deal. I can't put you on speaker.
There was actually supposed to be a patient. Let me see something really quick. Who was getting his lengthening done in the U.S. At a different place, and I don't know if I sent him the link. I think it's probably too late now because he's not going to get it. I don't know. I put this out this morning. I did. I meant to do it last night. It's just so busy. Yeah, I'm not gonna get that. Okay, let's just go into live chat and I'll try to find that. I'll throw these questions at you guys and then
Wait, before that,
yeah,
I have a question.
oh yeah,
Has
sure.
anybody-
Sorry. Yeah, you're here.
No, that's cool. It's cool. I was just curious. So everyone here has been to Pally, right? But has anybody gone to other surgeons as well? Is it just Pally?
Oh yeah,
or is
there's tons of other surgeons here. We have JLo who's going to Dr. Parihar in India. NailedLegs is at I think Dr. Giatakis in Greece. We have Ahmed is at Dr. Asiag in Baltimore. Aaron and Aiden, those two are the ones
Right.
from Paley. MD is from Dr. Gedelovich in Canada, and then Zach, you're the prospective patient. Who hasn't
Right.
watched it.
Oh, Canada, right. That's
And I'm a Dr. Conway from Baltimore, so
Yeah.
yeah. So we
That's
all.
the one I was thinking of going to.
This is like the international limb lengthening patient panel. So we have everybody from everywhere.
Yeah.
So, okay, cool.
Awesome.
So I will, let me see if I can get this join link and send it to the guy. I completely forgot to do it. Because people email me and say, hey, I want to join your live show. And then like, I get the links ready. I'm like, who asked for it again? There's like 30 people who email me in one day. So it's kind of hard. All right. So Invincible Summer. Hey, everybody. Okay. So we got.
Why is it not on the YouTube? It's on the YouTube though, right?
It is,
Like
but
the join link.
they may not always check it because, and sometimes, like I said, that's the thing. I spend a lot of time emailing people because sometimes they'll just email me and they don't watch the YouTube, and they do, but they do when they want. So it's kind of hard. I don't know about the surgeon in Texas. Maybe I have heard of him. You'll have to send me his name. I don't know. Let's see. Any questions in the chat for the panel? Let's go down here. Go down. Victor's a scammer. Yeah.
Yeah, the chat's been awful.
Child's play. Yeah. Little losers on the internet that have nothing better to do. Victor gets paid. Prove it. Show me what I get paid, please. I'd love to get paid. Come on.
I can admit it right now. I paid Victor $100 very willingly, and I'm very glad I did.
Thank you. Exactly.
Because he deserves that, and I wanted to talk to him. And he also even just talks to me randomly, like even without paying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I paid him very willingly. He did not take my money.
Exactly.
I like gave it to him out of a thank you for all the work he does. And I would honestly buy all of his shit if I could afford it, but I spent all my money on surgery.
That's so
very
true.
understanding.
Expensive surgery.
He really deserves whatever money he makes, if he even makes anything. But I don't honestly, he's not like that. I don't think
I get
so.
consultation money. That is a
Yeah.
side thing, and I do get YouTube AdSense for like $100.
Yeah, but what?
So
That's really nothing.
it doesn't cover the software. So, but no, I'm super passionate about it. I really am. And
Yeah.
honestly, there is a documentary in the works. I'm working on that. We are in post production. Hopefully, we're on the history section. Rich is working on it every day. So hopefully that thing is going to get done. Wait, is NailedLegs? Is that you?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Oh
Can you
my
hear me?
God, he's working. All right, let's
We
talk.
got our legs.
He's working. Hey,
Finally.
brother, we got to talk to you. We got to get your update, and then we'll go to the chat. All right, so it's been a while. Fill us in. What's been happening? Where are you?
Yeah, so I'm back in the States now, but still, I can't quite walk yet. I did actually have an appointment with a new surgeon today. She does not do cosmetic limb lengthening or anything like that, but she does do with the pediatrics as well as deformity, things like that. So, her taking me on as a patient was definitely a lot to ask her and all that, but it went pretty good. Long story short, my tibias are good. They've been good, but it's the issue that I'm having now is the left femur is just behind. So, I did the new x-rays today. She said the right leg is good. I can actually, bear weight on it, one-legged even. No jumping, no running, no anything like that. But of course, well, how am I going to walk with one leg? So, I'm still kind of stuck in the same position. But I'm hoping 6 weeks from now, she wants to see me again. And I'm hoping by then I should be able to start walking normally.
Okay, man. So just a little bit of a delay to you, but it's coming together. So just can you give everybody an update or like
Okay.
a summary of like what you did?
Okay.
Yeah, so
Zach, let me just mute you. There you go. Somebody has some feedback. Let me get J-Lo. I think it's coming from your. Let me just mute you for a sec. Okay, go ahead, NailedLegs. Sorry.
Yeah, so basically I did 8.3 centimeter and quadrilateral with Dr. Jyotikis in Greece. I'm not really sure what to say.
No, that's perfect. You did quadrilateral.
Yeah.
You did 8.3. And would you say that you have good flexibility after you finish the quadrilateral lengthening?
Definitely. I did develop ballerina foot, but that went away within like a month or two, and really just doing some really intentional stretching with them. Getting up on my walker, focusing on flexing, your toes upward to like get that extra stretch without having to like push down or anything. It went away. Really nothing to worry about there. I have photos of it on the diary as well. Where before I couldn't get my heel down no matter what. It didn't matter if somebody was like pushing down on my leg like at PT, no matter what, couldn't get it down. That went away. I was never really worried about that anyways. Flexibility, like in the thighs and hamstrings, quads, whatever, that came back pretty quickly. I think that I'm just about like have like the pre-op flexibility. I mean, not quite, because I can't really do the same movements that I'd like to do. I'd like to do some lunges and things like that, but obviously I can't do that right now. So I'm hoping soon I'll be able to. But the ballerina foot, I'm still a little bit tight. The surgeon I spoke to today, she said I'm probably still about maybe 5 degrees off of normal. I can get my heel down, but it's just, I can feel it. It's like there's a little bit of tension there that, shouldn't be there. So I think she's right with that. Yeah, I'm probably 5 degrees off of what would be, complete normal, front to back flexibility of the ankle.
Yeah, and how far out are you from your surgery? Like, when did you have surgery?
That was November and December of 2024. So it's been 9 months, something like that. And then, of course, I started the consolidation phase back in February. So, I mean, this has actually been ongoing for a while.
I see. Yeah. Well, the good thing is that is she pretty optimistic about your bones they're going to heal, they're just being slow to heal?
Yes, she is. She did tell me like, oh yeah, you're definitely going to have a non-union of the fibula.
Okay.
But she said, and Dr. Jyotikis, he said the same thing, where the fibula really doesn't matter. It's sort of like a leftover bone that we have. The way Dr. Jyotikis described it to me was how like humans were more primitive, and it's something to do with like horses, and how like horses have these extra bones, but for humans it's kind of left over. I don't know if like when you were a kid you ever saw like those diagrams of like whales and like mammals and like the similarity of like the bone structure of mammal. Like I don't know, some like evolutionist, type evolution type stuff.
Yeah.
But like basically the idea is it's like a leftover bone,
Vestigial trait.
which
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Kind of like it. Yep. That makes sense. But are you concerned about that, or like, or are you're cool with it? Because like, hey, you can still walk you will be able to walk after everything's said and done.
I definitely wish I still had it, but I mean, if they say, it doesn't matter, then okay, it doesn't matter,
Right.
whatever. And
Yeah.
and it's not like I'm like losing something. It's just that because the same amount is there. Like if you were to weigh it on a scale, the same amount is there that I had pre-op. It's just that gap didn't close, which doesn't really matter. So even if I need like a bone transplant in the future, I'll still have the same amount that I did pre-op.
Right. No, that makes sense. Absolutely. Okay. So what's your next, like, do you have another checkup coming up? Like are you just waiting for bones to heal? Are you doing any type of intervention, like whether it's conservative or a little bit invasive? Like what's the plan from here?
So basically, I asked her about a bone stimulator.
Mhm.
Green on the Discord, he actually mentioned that to me. I guess there was like some Burkholz patients that mentioned they did it. He heard about it. He told me about it, and then so I asked her, and she said, "Oh yeah, we'll put you in for it." She said insurance may or may not cover it, but I think they probably will. But she's going to try see. I don't know the specific device she's going to give me. I mentioned there's like Excel Stim, and then there was one called like Bone Gen, I think.
Mhm.
But I mean, whatever she gives me, I'll use that.
Gotcha. That's very cool. Yeah, I think that some stimulators can help. And there's a new one that somebody sent me. I think it's like Pulsar or something like that. Pulsar. I was going to reach out to them and see. It's through PEMF technology, which is pulsed electromagnetic field technology, which is different than LIPUS, which is low intensity pulse ultrasound. But both type of things kind of like stimulate osteoblast activity, so that you can hopefully get some sort of proliferation of the regenerate. So hopefully, NailedLegs, you're my guy, man. We've been talking for years now. I want the best for you. So hopefully we can get some of that tibia. And which femur was it? The left?
Left femur, yeah. The,
Left
the
femur.
left femur's the ones that's lacking. And actually, before I even left Athens, Dr. Giotkas told me that my tibias back then were even good for weight bearing. So this was, 8 weeks ago, 9 weeks ago.
Wow.
It's just the femurs were always slacking, and they're still slacking. And I know it's mostly opposite for most people, right? Like,
Yeah.
femurs heal much quicker than tibias.
Right.
Interestingly, Brick Brain, he had the same thing. He was a Burkholz patient, and he was quadrilateral, and it was his femurs that were giving him the most amount of trouble. Good consolidation on tibias, but the femurs were slacking, and so I don't know what it is with us guys that have delayed consolidation, but the tibias seem to be good for whatever reason, but it's the femurs that just suck. I don't know why. It
Yeah.
shouldn't be that way, but it is.
Especially because you did about what, what was it on the femur?
4.3. So not even that much.
Yeah.
Or maybe 4.2. Yeah, 4.2. So not even.
How far apart were your surgeries? Like a couple weeks, 3 weeks?
3 weeks.
Okay, that's so interesting. It's just, yeah, it's so unheard of to have the femurs really kind of be that slow. But it's just one of them. It's not the right one, right? The right one's doing okay.
Yeah, right one. She said, so yeah, right is good. I can do like single-legged stuff. No
Oh, wow.
running, no jumping. But that's the thing is like, well, I can't really walk with one
Yeah.
leg,
Yeah.
so nothing really changes for me. I mean, I guess I could do a little bit more stretching on the right. The other thing that she did mention to me is they're even at the stage I'm at now. I'm still at risk of breaking a nail. Because like it's not like complete 100% consolidation. It's
Right.
it's a range. And I'm still in that range where I still have to kind of protect my legs, especially the left, and even on the right. Like she even said, "Hey, no running, no jumping." And she said, "Well, if it happens, we could do a nail swap, and that's what we would do in non-unions, anyways." But of course, I brought up, well, I plan on doing the re-break and all that, so that if I were to have to go through all that, then it's
It's
just
not worth
that
it.
much extra procedure. Yeah. So
Yeah.
personally, I'd rather take the conservative route and go as easy as I can. As much as I want to get back to normal, I'm not in a rush to make that happen if there's a risk of me breaking the nail.
Smart. Last question. So, are you at least on crutches, like with your right leg down, or are you just kind of just a walker and wheelchair?
Walker and wheelchair.
Okay.
I just gotten home from the appointment. Actually, this was maybe just a couple hours ago.
Oh, today. Wow.
Yeah, this was today. So But yeah, I figure. I mean, I do have crutches, but I don't really see. I mean, I don't know. I feel like the walker is just fine. I mean, I don't know. I guess I could use the crutches potentially, but
Little
I don't
hesitant
really
right
feel
now.
comfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's completely fine. I understand it, and I think that I just think that the crutches definitely help with mobility, but like you're right with the other leg not being all there, and you don't want to break an implant because you're going to go back for more. So, all right,
yeah,
man,
and the stability as well. Just like the balance. My balance is
absolutely,
pretty good now, but I feel very stable on the walker, and I don't want to risk tripping over and falling.
absolutely, no, for sure, man. Well, that is
I
a
have a
great.
question.
Yeah, sure, go ahead. Yeah, JLo.
Yeah. So, do we have any patients here that have alternated between 1 mm and 0.75 kind of alternation?
Yeah.
Either, I mean, 1 day, 2 days, and
That's what
what?
Aiden did. He did that, and Aaron's gonna.
Yeah,
He actually had that on his chart. He's planning to do that. These two guys right here, they're the lengthening twins. They're actually doing that. Talk to him about that, Aiden.
yeah. Over the weekend, I was feeling a little bit of like I don't want to do the fourth turn today, so I skip it, and then I skip it the next day, and then I skip it again on Monday, and it felt really good. Like just by those 3 days, everything started to feel a little easier. Like flexibility was easier to do my stretches, feel better after. So I did notice a difference. Um, going down to 3 turns. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do 3 and 4. I'll probably try to stay at 4 at this point as much as I can. I was thinking going to 3 right after like 6.5, somewhere around there. But if I feel like hey, I don't feel like doing a fourth turn today because like I feel a little tired than this morning, whatever. Then I'll skip it, and I think that it helps. It really helps a lot.
Absolutely, absolutely. I agree with
Oh,
you.
thanks.
Yeah. And Aaron, do you want to comment on that? Oh, he.
I did 3 and 4
Oh,
as well. Oh,
oh,
sorry. Go
also,
ahead.
yeah, sorry. Also, like I talked to my doctor about this. It's not that I choose to do it on my own. I asked first, can I do this? And he said, yeah. If you feel like doing it, do it. So that's why I went in and did that. But it's not like I choose to do it on my own. Like I consulted with him first.
That's awesome. Yeah, always check with your surgeon, make sure it's good. You can have the idea, and you can have like, oh, that patient's trying it, but just double check with your surgeon because your case might be different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
MD, you wanted to say something about it? Aaron, I go off and come back on. I think it's not coming through again. I'll try to
Yeah.
get.
I mean, for me, it's always just the bone, like not the soft tissue, just the bone is not uh, growing as much as Dr. G wants. So we went down, like I was at 1, then we went down to 0.75, then we went down to 0.75, 1, 0.75, 1, 0.75, 1. We went back to 0.75, so we stopped, we went back to 0.7. So like it's a lot of like, I mean, she's telling me what to do, but like we do go alternate quite a bit, but I can just say the soft tissue I have literally no issues with that. It's just the bone growth, which is I think it's still okay, but it's probably not the best in the world right now.
Well, that I mean, like I said, and then Aaron, he's doing it too. I think that's a smart technique. Is the stagger technique? Was that day by day, MD, or was it like a few days, or was it like staggering days?
So for like the first, like the entire for the first like 1 millimeter, and then we slowed down to like 0.75 or 3 turns, like maybe for like 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and then it like fixed it a tiny bit, and then we went to for another 2 weeks and like 1.75, 1.75, and
Okay.
then we slowed down to so it keeps whatever whenever we get the X-ray, and Dr. G will tell me what rate to go at or to just stop altogether, which I also did, which stop for like a
I
week
see.
or two.
You make that team decision. All right. And Aaron, like on your I'm gonna bring it back up here for a second.
Sure.
Like you had that slide earlier. So JLo was asking about like the stagger technique, but you have a little bit of a different approach here. You're kind of cruising along here, but you're planning to slow down. Can you explain your technique and how it differs a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, next week I could do alternative like 4 turn and 3 turns, but basically, I think once I hit 5 centimeters, my goal has always been 7.2. So pretty much those last 2 centimeters, I'm kind of treating it like it's the hardest. The last 2 centimeters are usually the hardest stretch to like get through. So what I'm doing is I'm just trying to make it easier on my quads by doing like fewer turns, by doing 3 turns on the weekdays and 2 turns on the weekends where I don't have physical therapy.
Gotcha. That's so cool, man. Like I said, you guys are contributing so much here. This is just a minefield of gold and nuggets right here on this episode alone, and everything that you guys have been providing over the week. So keep it up. That's huge. All right. So let's see. I don't know if I got to everybody in the stream. So we got to Nailed Legs now. So yeah, I think that's pretty much everybody. Let me see. How do I hide this chart? And we're gonna go back to the live Q&A for a few minutes, and we'll call it a day. Oh shoot.
Hey, Big, can I say something to MD?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead. Yeah.
Hey, Master Distractor.
Yeah?
It's pretty cool the way you put your name and then you put like 61.25. I'm
mean,
gonna
I
steal
think that's
that.
what the Discord people do, right? They always like some of the
Everybody should do
Discord
that
people.
here.
You
So you
should
can
do
put
that.
your
Yeah.
link.
The Discord people keep updating it every fucking day, and I just don't have time for that. Some of the Discord people are doing it like they're updating every millimeter. But I go on Discord from time to time, and I just look and I just no
But
time to talk all the
I
time.
like it. I like it how it looks over here, man. I'm gonna steal it from you. I'm gonna do
Yeah,
it next
no, I
time.
mean I stole it from someone else. I stole it from the Discord people. So.
That's
Absolutely.
pretty
Yeah.
cool. That's pretty cool, man. Everybody can see where you're at the moment. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Congratulations, brother. Look
I
at
think
you.
they were updating it every turn. Honestly, I think some of them, like their username, they kept updating every turn. Like some of those guys were on there all the time. So,
That's the way to keep
Yeah.
progress, you know. But I think it's really cool because then people can look at us like, oh, he's at 61.25.
yeah,
You know, Nailed Legs. That's cool because then I can like say, they say, what is Nailed Legs at? It's like, oh, he did, 80 something. So it's a really good way to do it. All right, so let's get back to these live Q&A chat questions. Did I miss anybody? Zach, did you chime in earlier? You were just asking a question, right?
I'm back. Yeah.
Okay, you're back. Okay, cool.
Sorry, I had to be on mute because I was helping the boy take care of.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. You're working right now. No,
I'm good right now. I have time now. I'm good.
Cool. All right, so we're gonna go through the live Q&A. I'll throw you guys some of these questions.
Yeah, there was a question about what's his who was it? Master
Distractor.
Distractor. Yeah, you were the one who went to Dr. G, right?
yes. Did you say you want to go to her or Dr. Asayag?
G.
Sorry.
Yeah,
He
G,
said
Dr.
Dr.
G.
G. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. Just shoot me your questions anytime. I'm on. Like when I'm walking, like I walk and I have been told to do a certain number of steps, and when I'm walking, I can like talk on the phone because I got nothing better to do.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So
That's cool.
shoot me any questions on Discord or wherever you want,
Oh yeah, definitely.
or on here right now if you want. Like, yeah,
Oh
if you
yeah,
have
I
time.
can ask.
We have.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind asking.
Real quick, we have. I didn't even see there's somebody sitting here. Dank Sinatra. I let them on earlier, and I didn't even say. Yeah, Dank, are you there?
Yeah, what's up, Victor?
Oh
How's
my
everybody
gosh,
doing?
I'm sorry, man. I think I clicked you on when I was talking to Aaron about his chart or something, and I just didn't go back to it. I'm sorry, man. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm a little nervous. My surgery's in 2 weeks, so I got a couple questions if you don't mind me asking.
Absolutely, go ahead. Fire it away to us in the panel. Yeah.
So I watched all your videos, obviously, and about the supplements and stuff, and I was wondering about the hydrolyzed marine collagen and the marine everything you said basically. I was wondering, when do I start taking the supplements? Do I take it right after surgery or during lengthening or
Yeah.
like?
That's a great question. So first of all, like, congratulations. Everyone on the panel is probably like excited for you. You're about to get. Talk about your goals real quick before we get into the supplements, because I'll break that down for you. But like, are you first of all, what's your starting height and what's your goal height?
I'm 5'6", and I'm trying to get to 5'8.5", so I'm doing 6.5 centimeters. I actually went here before already. I just changed my name.
Oh, okay. You've been on here, but you're actually going through with the surgery now. That's time for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I made a decision. I was thinking of going to Parihar, but then I don't know. I wasn't too comfortable going to India.
Okay,
So
that's fine.
but I ended up with Dr. Burkholz.
Okay.
So,
Very cool. Very cool. Good selection. Yeah, man. Look, I think it's fantastic that you're going through with it and you're being conservative with it. And even if you weren't, like, you sound young, so I think you would do well. Are you prepared physically? Like, did you do stretching before surgery?
yeah. I've definitely been stretching for months. I watched that video of yours too, and I was doing every single one of those every day.
That's awesome, man. You sound like my guy Aiden over here, like doing it religiously. And Aaron,
Yeah,
I mean,
for
these
sure.
guys are hard workers, and that's the thing about it. Everybody on this panel, they're hard workers, and that's one thing you have to know about this. Because don't get me wrong, we'll talk about the supplements in a minute, but it really does come down to consistency and just having that work ethic, right? Because these guys are workhorses. Like Aiden said, he got tight this over the last weekend and he had to stop, and he's seeing good bone regenerate, but it's not perfect, but he's moving along, right? And if you want to ever talk to any of these guys, feel free. There's a Discord that a lot of them are part of, or I'm sure that if you want, you can reach out to me and I could probably connect you with them. But yeah, all right, let's talk about your supplements. So collagen is one that, like, first of all, I think it should be taken with vitamin C. It's kind of like a biofactor that helps with its absorption, but I definitely wouldn't take it like right after surgery. It's something that you would probably want to do like after you get through that pro-inflammatory phase, like the post-surgical phase of surgery. I think like 2-3 weeks in, right? When your bodies start to kind of normalize and you can absorb a lot of the supplements that you're taking, besides vitamin D3 and calcium. Those are going to be needed pretty soon. But I really don't think that until about 2-3 weeks, when you feel more like yourself, then start to get on like more of a supplement regimen. Sure, you can start it sooner than that if you're pain-free. But if you're going to be like most patients and you do have a lot of pain, just give yourself a little bit of a break and start when your pain starts to dissipate, which is usually around that 2.5-3 week mark. And then you can start, what supplements do I take? I always call it the core 4. Number 1, I think obviously you want to have vitamin D3 in there because you can get calcium from your diet and stuff. Vitamin D3 is not enough from the diet. So you're going to always want to get like a supplemental form of vitamin D3 if your surgeon hasn't already prescribed it for you. Then you can get some form of calcium or some sort of bone healing supplement that usually has calcium and a bunch of other like minerals in it. Then I think vitamin C, right? Because collagen and vitamin C, those two are the next two that fill out the core 4 really, because they synthesize bone tissue, soft tissue, and a lot of people just sit and let time take its course. You really can't do that with this procedure. You really have to be proactive if you want to heal optimally. Unless you're a rapid hyper healer like Wolverine. We have several Wolverines around here like Aaron and some other people. But if you're not one of them, you can optimize it with supplementation, but diet's before that. So what's your diet like, Dank?
Well, I eat a lot of chicken, vegetables, rice. I'm always working out too, so I eat a lot of protein for sure.
Good,
like
good.
Yeah.
That's smart. You guys are doing it the right way. Protein is key. It's building blocks for a lot of our body's tissues and structure. So that's key. So yeah, for sure. But you can definitely do it. But I think supplements and like whey protein and all that, like I call it the second tier supplements, outside of the core 4. Anytime after that week 2-3, when you start to kind of normalize, like feel more like yourself, you start to kind of wean off of the pain pills, the narcotics and things like that. And you're like, okay, I got control of this lengthening game. I can do this. But usually in the first few days, a lot of patients don't feel like they're like, crap, what did I do? They start to regret it. If that happens, just understand it's normal. So yeah, do that, get those core 4. And then if you want to build out something else, you can get something like a bone supplement. There's a lot of them out there. I'm not really kind of endorsing anything because I'm going to come out with my own supplement line, the Cyborg Labs. I'm just kidding. No, I actually might, but anyway, yeah, no. So that's kind of my take on like collagen. And you want to get some sort of hydrolyzed collagen, whether it's from marine, bovine, or whatever, because it's a little bit more bioavailable, meaning your body can absorb it better than your typical. And a lot of them are like that nowadays because everybody's trying to compete with other people. The collagen department is advancing.
So the bone maximizer thing or the bone restore.
Yeah.
When do I take that? You said 2 weeks.
I think 2 weeks. I think that again, you can ask your surgeon like about a lot of this. They probably don't know a lot because they don't know a lot about supplements for anything. It's funny, but I would just say that as long as you're eating your food, like whole food, right out of surgery for about 2 weeks, you're fine. Like your body's not going. You haven't really lengthened that much. Your bone hasn't really doesn't have that much distance between the gap. So until about 2 weeks, when you start to, if it happens sooner that you feel good, then you can start taking it then. But the indication is going to come from your own body's cue. Like when does the pain dissipate and you're like, oh, my legs, they're not as bad. They're not throbbing as bad. That's when you can start to like, let me add some supplements in there. Because if you're very inflamed, if there's like this massive inflammatory response, your body doesn't absorb things very well. Like think about me for my bodybuilding shows, right? Like if I'm like beat up from workouts and stuff like that, my body's going to want to rest before it starts to absorb nutrients. So you want to be more recovered before you can kind of like influx a lot of supplements.
Okay. I see.
So give yourself
Eh,
2.5 weeks from surgery date before you start like your supplement regimen.
Richard, can I make a note on your supplement stuff?
Sure.
I tried so hard to buy off your website so I can give you some revenue. It didn't work because it wouldn't ship to Canada. By the time it was shipped to Canada, I would be done lengthening. So I gave up.
Oh, darn. Are you serious? Darn you
I'm
guys.
not. I'll try. Like I tried for literally 5 hours.
Dang.
And I tried to find like a Canadian version of it, and I just gave up. Like I gave up, and I asked Dr. G, should I buy any of this stuff? It's like, no, you don't
No,
need it.
no.
But I
really,
think like you said, like some surgeons don't care.
they don't care.
They're not into this. Sorry.
No. And I'm sorry to cut you off. I just think that that's fine. I appreciate you trying to buy from the links or whatever. Again, wait for Cyborg Labs. We're coming out with something. But
Oh, make sure it ships to Canada. Like
I know. I'm going to play Amazon's game. I'm going to ship it everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
But I think it's when you talk about supplements, a lot of people think, what's that magic pill? What's that magic powder that can really heal faster, or peptides or whatever? First and foremost, you want to make sure that you optimize your body's healing right first. It's like, are you eating right? Are you resting right? Are you doing all these things that you can do? Once you do that, supplements will supplement that. So, and you figure out what you need. Where's the gap? If you're eating super clean, you might not even need a lot of this stuff.
I think I need supplements.
You do, and you may, right?
I mean, I feel like it'll help.
Yeah.
So I'm trying, but like I think I saw a comment on here.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to, when you're by yourself, handicapped, it's hard to cook everything yourself, right?
Very true. Very true. Yeah. I think unless you have a meal delivery service or something like that, or somebody to cook for you, it can be very, very challenging. So, yeah. So, going back to your question, Dank, what were we talking about? Sorry.
Sorry.
I don't really remember, but I have another question.
Yeah, go ahead and ask your next question. I'm sorry.
So my biggest concern, right, really is the inflammation after surgery and the pain after. I was wondering, what can I do to reduce the swelling as quickly as possible? Do I just ice it, or I mean, what can I do, honestly?
I'm gonna throw this one over to Aiden and Aaron, because they're the masters of the lengthening twins. They got rid of their pain pretty quickly. So Aiden, give your take, and then Aaron, you want to follow up on that one?
Yeah, definitely. After surgery, you want ice, a lot of ice. So ice packs works really good. Also, compression socks, the ones that they're like an air pump. They're air pump ones. I use
Right.
those like 4 or 5 times a day. Like, it makes your circulation in the whole leg, tibias, and femurs. And my swelling went away within 3 days. It was like really really fast the way it went down. But yeah, at the beginning we want ice and compression socks, whether they are the air pumps or the regular socks that are for compression. Yeah, those helps a lot. And elevation also, keep your legs, sleep with with your legs up, and above your heart.
Yes,
So
sounds so perfect, so smart. Okay, go ahead, Dank. I'm sorry.
So yeah, I really appreciate that advice. I've never really heard about the compression socks, but if I'm doing a surgery on my femur, do I still use the socks, or do I wear those pants that go all the way up to my hips? They're like compression, or do I still use the socks?
Aaron, you want to take
No,
that one? Oh, go ahead, Aiden.
I think
Yeah.
Aiden bought those socks or those things, so he can answer that.
Yeah. Okay. Go
yeah,
ahead, Aiden.
you just want the socks that go up to your knee, because you don't want to put any compression socks. The ones that are like regular socks, but the compression ones. Those the one up to your knees. Those are good up to your knees. Not your femurs. Your femurs gonna be um if you use the one that I was talking about, the air pump that like has like a Velcro that you can see how tight you put it in your femurs. That one,
Mhm.
yes, that one does work. But I wouldn't put at the beginning one of those full leg compression socks.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'd be painful to do. I wouldn't mess with that at all at the beginning.
Yeah, because a lot of the swelling is going to go down. The edema is going to it's going to go where gravity goes. It's like when you stand up on your walker to your feet. So if you can get it from your calves all the way back up towards your heart, it
Yeah.
dissipates and dilutes from there. That's what Dr. Robbins wears a lot. I think when he was on here a lot, he would say that. So
Yes, yeah, definitely, definitely. When the socks that go up to your knee, that will hold any liquid, to stay down there. And then once you do your elevations, that helps a lot to bring the fluids, all over your body and then out. So
So
that
I'm guessing the rationale for that is to keep the circulation up only in my femurs, not really to go down. I don't know.
yeah, pretty
That's
much. It's like the further it is away from your heart, the harder it is for it to kind of like dissipate and get away. It's
okay.
going to be. He's saying like definitely in the first few weeks, when you're going to be after surgery, like as you get further and further away from surgery, like the swelling's going to go down. But if you occasionally do a hard PT session, or if you're on your feet for a long day because you're going to somebody's graduation or something in your walker, then you can use the socks that he's talking about, and you can even put a full leg compression sleeve on or something like that to really squeeze that the fluid away. But you don't want to go crazy tight on your thigh, right? Like you just want gentle compression, and that's enough to usually get that subcutaneous fluid back up towards your circulatory system to get it, out of there.
Okay. All right. I appreciate everybody's advice. I really do.
Absolutely, man. We wish you the best. When is your surgery? Did you say? I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's the 24th of this
Of this
month.
month? Oh, snap. Mental note. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
good luck, thanks. Good luck.
I know, man. That's awesome. You have to kind of check in, man. We're going to have to do some updates with you. This is, like I said, you guys are changing the limb lengthening world right now by helping to contribute and give information. All right. So let's go through these live chat. We are a little over an hour, but that's okay. We're just going to do this because we have some questions in here. Okay. So this one from Froggy Dragon. Has anybody gone through a bad flu during limb lengthening or has been forced to be in bed for a week? No PT or stretching. Is it over then? No more lengthening. Do you have to stop? Anybody on this panel? NailedLegs, Jayla hasn't done it yet. MD, any of you guys?
Flu? No.
Flu or being sick
Like
or
a flu in
like,
my head, yes, because I
yeah.
got stopped. No, not a real flu. But I don't go out much, so like I don't know how I can catch it.
You never know. If you go to the hospital, get checked in, you can get something there. But so everybody been
Correct.
pretty healthy. Well, lengthening is a long process. So I'm sure that it will come across somebody that has, but I bet you would still lengthen and do your PT for sure. That's kind of non-negotiable. But, as far as being sick, you might want to make sure you're just keeping your fluids up, just like as if you were sick without lengthening, I think. And then just check in with your doctor. Just tell them like, hey, look, I'm not feeling well. Is there anything I should do differently? And they should give you some good feedback for sure. Levi is asking, is it possible for the tibia and fibula to lengthen them simultaneously? I guess. Well, I guess you're meaning the femur, but the tibia and the fibula usually are distracted together because they're fixated together usually. But if you mean the tibia and the femur, yes, but usually the surgeries are not on the same day. They're usually spaced out a couple weeks to a month or more. But you can usually get some overlap and they will start lengthening together. You just have to do 2 days on PT. It gets really hard. So, all right. So we got any, okay, this one, let's throw this one to Aaron and NailedLegs. Are you still here?
Yeah, what's up, man?
Okay, let's actually throw this one to you. Gamer fans asking, what are people doing for food during lengthening? We'll give this to you and Aaron. I imagine it's harder to cook while you're partial weight bearing with these nails.
Yeah, basically, while I was in Athens, they have 2 popular food delivery apps. And I was just mainly eating that. You can also get groceries delivered. So, I would get lots of milk delivered, some fruits, yogurt, things like that. But primarily, I was just getting, a lot of protein, in Greece. They have souvlaki, which is like grilled meats. So tons and tons of protein, tons and tons of milk. And then back to what you guys were talking about earlier about supplements. I was taking everything like from the beginning, and I can tell you it didn't do shit for me. So, I'm still here, it's in July and still can't walk. So, your mileage may vary when it comes to those supplements. Even if you do the peptides, I did it and still here. So, of course, maybe it would have been worse, but hard to know.
Absolutely. No,
I have a question though.
Sorry,
I think supplements are kind of a hit or miss for some people. You gotta your body's genetics and like how you heal is gonna be like 90% of the equation for sure. Yeah, Zach, go ahead.
Absolutely.
Oh no, it was just a question about some of the foods that you might eat there. Would you eat like cheese? I mean, I know cheese is not so bad.
Yeah.
I think
So I'm like,
I mean,
can I
calcium.
add to this, Victor?
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. Are you asking NailedLegs, Zach, or are you asking?
N-
Yeah.
I was asking Nell. Yeah, I was asking Nell. Well, I'm asking everyone there. Anyone who
Yeah,
knows about.
Oh yeah, a
like
lot of yogurt.
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Yogurt.
I'm cooking by myself
Uh-huh.
almost every day. And I'm
Yeah,
using a rice
that's
cooker. Can you hear me?
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you. Go ahead.
Yeah. So like I want to show a video of this soon. But basically, what I do is get a bunch of chicken breast, dump it into a rice cooker, get a bunch of frozen vegetables, dump into a rice cooker, or I
Mm,
do steaks in a rice cooker, and I just let it sit there for an hour, and I eat from that.
smart.
That's like my main meal, and that's my
Smart.
cooking really. And the other ones are like cheese, yogurt, like everything NailedLegs mentioned. Like you can grocery deliver that stuff, right? Like milk, yogurt, cheese, like sauce, like instant meal basically. Right? You just put it in your mouth. And the supplements I haven't tried as much, but like I eat protein bars and stuff.
That's a
But
supplement. Yeah. Honestly, I think that's fantastic because really food is
Awesome.
going to be your core. Everything else, supplements just kind of come in and help out. So that's fantastic. Excellent. Does that answer your question, Zach?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good. That's
This
good. That's
question,
one
it's
time.
mostly grocery delivery that you can. If I didn't have grocery delivery here, I'll be screwed.
Mhm.
Like there's no way
Right.
to survive.
yeah, I like your approach
Yeah.
with the rice cooker. Just throw everything in there. It makes it simple. I mean, look, it's still contest season. I still get tired at the end of the day. I'm like, man, I don't want to cook like this, that, and the other. It's like just put it into like the Instant Pot, the rice cooker, something all in one, right? That's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Rocket Dragon's back with another question. He's saying, has anybody used the rollator that you can sit on during lengthening? I know Socrates has made this famous. Natalie has used it after that. So Aaron and let's see who else is the lengthener in here. Yeah. So Aaron, what are you guys using, the standalone walker or the rollator? Oh, he's gonna have to join again. Aiden, you want to take that one while he comes back on?
Yeah, here we use the regular walker, the one that has only two wheels in the front,
Got it. Okay. So
and
not
we do the bunny hump. We don't use one leg
the
at a
walk.
time, both legs at the same time.
Gotcha. And that's both you and Aaron.
Yeah, I do use a rollator though. It's funny because I see people asking. Um, I use the rollator like a wheelchair. I have the one that have the big wheels, and you can sit on it. So when I go to a PT, usually my wife or my son they take me, they drive me there. It's easier to get off the car and maneuver, than the wheelchair. Wheelchair is super heavy, and so I use that for those type of scenarios. It's like a quick move from the car to a place that is longer than you would use a walker by yourself. But the rollator does a pretty good job as a mini wheelchair at the beginning. If you have somebody bringing you over, for that person, it's gonna be easier to handle than the wheelchair. The wheelchair is a bit more heavy and tough to work on.
That's it. That's it's like a little portable wheelchair. It's a lot more maneuverable. That's excellent. That's great advice. I like that. And Aaron,
Yeah.
would you second that?
Yeah. I definitely definitely see Aiden all the time at PT just with his rollator. But I personally don't have it. I just use the walker and the wheelchair that the hospital provides, and I think partly it's just because like me at the hotel, like they have a partner shuttle that takes us to PT, so I never really found the need to use a rollator. But yeah, so Aiden pretty much answered that.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's most likely for people that are being driven there by car.
Yeah.
If you're coming from the hotel in the charter, then wheelchair is perfect.
Yeah. No, that
But if
makes
you
sense.
like getting there by a car and somebody's like helping you out, it's much easier using the rollator.
Right, because you have a longer distance to go. That makes sense. Very cool.
I had a
Thank you.
question for Aiden.
Yeah.
Are you considering putting your son on HGH?
um, he's already almost 18 years old, so I don't think that
Yeah.
will do any good. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah,
pretty
no,
tall, right? I met him when I came down there for the documentary. Remember?
Yeah, he's 5'7".
Right?
He feels like he wants to do it now. He's been
Does he?
looking. Yeah, he's been driving me every day, so he's like, oh dad, I want to do this. So
He was telling me too. The more like I see my dad go through this, the more I want to do it.
That's so crazy. He's having it like father, like son. That's crazy, man. I gotta say, well, who knows? Maybe when he wants to do it, there'll be like crazy advancements, and it'll be a much easier process. So, we'll never tell him no, right, Aiden? You know, leave the doors open. But anyway, all right. Let's see.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Saint Warrior is asking if you're a CLL patient going overseas and ended up with complications like a non-union, does U.S. insurance cover the complication in the U.S.? It's very unfortunate. I don't think they will. Sometimes you can see, it depends on the complication. I think it would be. I don't know for sure, but insurance, it depends on the insurance. There's a lot of factors that go into that answer, but I will bet you 90% of the time the answer will be no, because they're gonna say what procedure is this, and then if they see it's elective and they see that it's a bilateral limb lengthening, they'll say, why'd you have to get this done? You know, and they'll go down and they'll do their underwriting and all that stuff. So it's probably unlikely no, unless it's some sort of like implant malfunction or fracture due to a stress riser fixation screw or something like that, then maybe they might intervene and they say, oh, we can get this covered under your insurance. And you probably have to have pretty good insurance, because some of the basic insurances probably won't even touch it. So that's just my opinion. I don't know for sure, but anyway. Let's see, a couple more questions. We're approaching the hour and a half mark, but we had a big panel today, and I think it was super valuable. I'm super excited for it. This one's for NailedLegs. DJ, NailedLegs did it with Precise. You did it with Geoticus. No misalignment or anything. X-rays all look good, NailedLegs?
Yeah, so my right leg always had just a little bit of an outward, like rotational deformity. Nothing like outside of the range of normal. You know, it's always in the range of normal, but I just always noticed it just stuck out just a little bit to the right. And post-op, I noticed that I had the same thing, but a little bit worse. It turns out a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I went in today, I mentioned to the new surgeon I'm speaking to. She did her examination, and she said that my right is off my left by about 10 degrees.
Mm.
So it definitely does look and feel worse than it was pre-op. So it's still within the range of normal. It's very clear. Like, I wanted to know, like, okay, am I at risk of like arthritis or something bad from this? And she said, no, it's still well within normal, but it is, definitely off your left. So is it something I need to worry about? No, but it is something that, did happen.
Gotcha.
Here's what your X-rays look like.
Yeah, there you go. I think. Well, he's talking about a rotational misalignment.
Yeah, because I heard like it depends on like where the nail, the higher, the more proximal it is to the knee. I think it would prevent any of those like rotation. I think I read it somewhere in the Paley stature guide. That's why I asked about that.
She told me some of it's in the tibia and some of it's in the femur.
Okay.
She also mentioned something about how in the femur, how it can actually, like, you can get a rotational deformity like accidentally, or like the nails, they can just like sort of naturally shift. I should have like asked her more about that. She mentioned something along those lines, but don't quote me on it, but she just said something about how it can shift in the femur specifically for some reason. I'm not really sure, but I'd have to ask her again.
Gotcha. Interesting. Yeah. Maybe if you follow up with her, did you say that you have another appointment with her in the future?
Yeah, 6 weeks, new
Okay.
X-rays, new checkup, and then we'll see.
Maybe you can, share some of the X-rays and give us a fill-in update when you have that next checkup.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Cool. All right, let's move along here. We have a couple more questions. We'll try to do it before the hour and a half mark. Did I? Yeah, we did answer that. St. Marie is saying most non-union cases during limb lengthening, are they due to lengthening too quickly? They can be, but unlikely, because unless you can't go backwards, then definitely. If you can go backwards, then it could be just a delayed union, or you just need to go backwards enough that the bone can heal. But usually a non-union just happens. I don't know. I actually really have to ask a surgeon. I think it's just the bones just don't heal, right? That's what a non-union is by definition. But why it happens, it's hard to say. It becomes a delayed union first, and then sometimes the osteoblast activity is just completely dampened enough that they don't talk to each other, and they're like, I don't want to hold hands with you. We don't want to connect, and you have a big gap in your bone. And it's not big. It could be little. It could be like some parts of it connect and not all. But yeah, I'll definitely have to ask a surgeon when we start doing surgeon chats again. So all right, cool. This one's from Vic and MD from Invincible Summer. I'm a potential future Dr. G patient. I'm planning on doing this alone. Do you know if Dr. G has a resource where I can hire a personal assistant while I'm there? I'm from the US. Thanks. So MD, that's all you. Is he still on here? I can't see. Where's the question? MD,
Looks
are
like
you
he is.
Master Distractor? Oh, go off and come back on. We're having one of those issues. I swear this software picks it's like musical chairs. Like you can't do movie. You know, it's so weird. It's like if you're not playing hot potato, you can't speak. All right, he's coming back on. Hold on, Invincible Summer. Then we have a few more questions on here. This one for NailedLegs though. Let's answer this real quick. Also, NailedLegs.
Can you hear me?
Now I can. Okay. Let NailedLegs.
Yeah, you're soft.
We'll go right back after that. But NailedLegs,
Yeah.
doesn't the retro function of Precise help in a non-union? So going backwards.
I have heard of surgeons doing that. I didn't do that myself, but I have heard from other patients that they've done the accordion method, although it is hit or miss. I believe Dr. Burkholz, he did that with one of his other patients, brick brain, and that didn't really seem to help him very much. But what did was the teriparatide. So, it's all patient dependent. There's some things that are going to work great for some patients and others not so much. So it's definitely all just, specific to you.
There you go. Awesome. All right. So this one for you, MD. He's asking about caretakers.
The caretaker, yeah. I did not ask about the caretaker, but I know they have nursing support. If you're coming alone, like, and need to come home or need nursing support. I don't know if you have around the clock caretaking that I heard of, but I mean, I can like for me, I'm taking care of myself right now, and it's not that hard. I think the thing is, if you're trying to balance a lot of things, like if you're trying to work like 8 hours a day and take care of yourself, that's very hard. Because caretaking of yourself while you're handicapped, it's another like a big job. So let's say if I spill something, that'll take me like an hour to clean up, right? So like so I don't know of a caretaking team, but I mean I can ask for you tomorrow if you want. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that she has
There's nursing staff.
yeah, I'm
You can
referencing
hire nurses. There's like, but I don't know about a caretaking specific thing.
agency or something. I'm sure
Okay,
there's
so
we're in
that's
10.5.
interesting.
Yeah,
So
there's got to be somewhere, and if not in Canada, then somebody could start a business up there and make a lot of money.
Well, I don't think you need it like for 3 months, a full-time caretaker. I feel like it's unnecessary.
You probably don't need it for 3 months, but like at least 3 weeks. The first 3 weeks, like you said, your mom was helping out, right, for the first 3 weeks.
Yeah. The first and I mean like I'm gonna most likely do tibias, and I'll be most likely by myself.
Mhm.
I would. She's not gonna come with me this time, so I'll most likely just maybe hire for a day or two, and I think I'll be fine.
Yeah, because you've already been
Like,
through it. But I think in the first
yeah.
first surgery, I do recommend
Yeah.
having help for at least a week, and then
Yeah.
try to get your routine down. You got to kind of figure this all out. It's a lot. So,
so Dr. G doesn't have they don't provide services for like PT, or you just do that on your own?
She does.
Is
She
that
does
how-
for PT.
No, this PT.
But
PT.
they're talking about caretaking, like more like
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I understand it's different. Yeah.
yeah.
I was just curious how they, if they have a staff there that does.
I am certain you can hire
assistance.
nursing, and there's links to they have resources for that. I just don't know about this
Okay.
specific caretaking business.
Caretaking, right?
Gotcha.
Right, yeah.
All right. A couple more here. So Art Y. If you live in a city in the U.S. without popular LL surgeons, how important is it to go to the nearest one? So popularity doesn't matter as much as experience does, and it's kind of hard to say because usually the experienced ones are now getting more popular because they've been in the game for longer. But and the people with less experience, they usually come and go because they don't have good success stories. So it really the system does work in your favor over time. Like not always, because sometimes marketing can outdo that. But I would say, this is just my opinion, that if you don't want to think too much about worrying about developing a complication and you want to kind of go with a trusted brand. Like if you were to buy a car or shoes or something like that, and you know you have your one that you go to, you're not just going to click on anything with poor reviews or something that doesn't have any reviews on Amazon or something like that. What would you do, right? You're going to look for the one with the best reviews or the most success stories or the best track record of success. And that's kind of what you want to do with limb lengthening surgeons to some degree. You want to find somebody who's experienced, because even though there's surgeons popping up every day and there's going to be more as this becomes popular, it's very important to kind of get somebody who has experience to avoid complications. Now, there's going to be complications like delayed unions and tight muscles that are recoverable, but if you can avoid a more serious complication that you don't have to deal with if you didn't have to deal with in the first place because you picked a good surgeon, you should do that. So I think if you live in the US, what is it, a short plane flight to get to a good surgeon, you can do it and then go back home. Why not? You save yourself money. And a lot of these patients could attest to that. So, because I think MD, you live, like, for example, you lived on the other side of Canada, but you went to Montreal, right?
Yeah. So I actually like before, like, I mean, like on December, I was like freaking the hell out because everything got banned and stuff. And I've actually found a limb lengthening surgeon 15-minute drive from me, like from my house. So I could have done all of this in Vancouver, and Montreal is on the other side. It's like basically going from California to New York. But I relocated to Montreal just so I can go to Dr. G, because I followed her for 4 or 5 years on Victor's media. Then I knew all her cases, like whatever was on Victor's stuff, I would follow it. Like every single word, I would follow it, and I would know, okay, I know I can get that result. So because of that reliability, I chose to come here. And there's like the price. There's a huge price difference as well, because I think is the one close to me, they're just starting out, so it's a bit cheaper. And also because I'm a Canadian resident of Vancouver, I think there's loopholes. I can get more free stuff because healthcare in Canada is free, right? So we'll be covered for like a lot of hospital stay, anesthesiology, all of that. So the price would be much lower. I wouldn't have to pay rent. I wouldn't have to pay, because I live at like, I would basically be in home, and I'll be 15 minutes away from the surgery place. And I knew that place. Like I don't want to badmouth it because I know that place is pretty good. But because there was previous reviews, as in for Dr. G, I still chose here. And I'm still very glad I did. So
Yeah, and another thing to that is that, look, as it becomes more popular, I'm not saying these other surgeons are bad, and I think that as time goes on, I just as it's like a subspecialty of like a very advanced form of orthopedics. As people get into it, they have to go through, there's learning curves, right? All the surgeons that people are lengthening with nowadays, like Dr. Mabubi and Dr. Gedelevich, got like all over the world, like they had their learning curves, but they're over that. Newer surgeons who are getting into this, they could be fantastic orthopedic surgeons, but limb lengthening, learning about the complications. I actually heard of this one surgeon, like he had great reviews as an orthopedic surgeon, and he got into limb lengthening, and a patient that got it done with him had pretty severe complications because he missed some of the most, I could have treated him better than he did. I was very embarrassed, and I was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't tell him to go there. He just picked the surgeon, and he said, I went here. And on paper, the surgeon looked great, but he didn't have a fellowship in limb lengthening and deformity reconstruction. And I think that's, you got to look, when you're looking into your surgeon, like what's their fellowships, what's their, who do they train with? There's, look, limb lengthening in this field, there's a few places that if they're not associated with it, you got to kind of like think twice, right? You know, the Baltimore Deformity course, Paley has like several fellowship training courses. I think HSS does some stuff. You know, there's big conferences. If people don't associate with those guys, it's a small clique. And if you're not a part of that, you really you have to pay attention, because it's not, these are like the black ops of orthopedics. They are like fix deformities with their eyes closed a lot of times. They're very, very good at what they do. They make it look easy, but don't just pick any orthopedic surgeon, because they're specialized, but they're a dime a dozen when it comes to these guys, right? Like these are guys like the Navy SEALs. They don't play around. So you got to be careful. Long-winded answer for more questions in the pipeline. Let's go. All right. So St. Warrior, gastric recession, gastrosoleus recession. Surgery,
no, not at Paley's.
They don't do that at Paley's. Is that right, Aaron?
Yeah, I mean, they won't touch your Achilles tendon. They're not going to do a gastrocnemius recession. Like they'll stop you before you get like any Aquinas contractors. But yeah, I mean that will affect that does have some permanent effects. So I know they were pretty insistent in the guide. They won't touch that.
Okay. Gotcha. All right.
I never really quite understood that. If it's, I had ballerina foot, but I worked it out.
Right.
So I personally don't understand why people even do that. If it can be stretched out, like I could not get my heel down no matter how hard you were trying to stretch me, it didn't matter. It would not go on the ground. But with time and stretching slowly, every day, every week, it gets a little bit better. So I don't understand why that's even done. Like, is it lack of patience or what's going on? I don't know.
And you know why though? A lot of these clinics that I call them questionable clinics. I changed it from my experience because I don't, but anyway, they'll do it prophylactically. They're like, oh, we should probably, do a gastrosoleus recession or whatever. We get gastric recession because they want to make the patient happy. Like, you're going to get more length out of this. It's a monetary gain thing. A lot of times it's a marketing tactic to say, oh, we can help you get 9 centimeters on your tibia to make you look proportional. So it's not a safety thing. You're right. A lot of times, even Dr. Robbins said it when I used to have him on, he would say, you can work it out. You can stretch it a lot of times over time, but you can avoid it by just going and being careful and watching what happens with your ankle. So I even had a little bit of ballerina, but it went away over time. So yeah, so it's not required. Definitely not. It's usually for patients with soft tissue congenital issues. Like you have people with CP, which is cerebral palsy, that a lot of times their muscles contract themselves. They have to get recessions and fasciotomies and stuff. But limb lengthening, you can avoid that big time. Yeah. Okay. So, all right, let's jump through these because I don't know.
Wait,
if
so realistically, I'm.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Zach.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
What'd you say?
So, well, because for the height that I'm planning to gain, I'm planning to go up to 6 foot.
Well, that's you said 5'10" first. Let's be realistic here because you're 5 foot.
Yeah, 5'10".
Yeah.
5'3.5", 5'4".
Yeah. So you got to be realistic.
I know.
Otherwise, I know everybody wants to dream. Like I want to be 6. Well, I want to be 5'11", but 6 foot with shoes. But the point is that we want to do things safely, and we can all have dreams that NailedLegs probably wants to be. Let's just say he wants to be 6'4". Is that possible?
Yeah.
We got to.
Let me tell Zach something. Hey, Zach, I'm the same height as you. Actually, I was when I started. And let me tell you, man, when you get the first 8 centimeters, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel, because I'm halfway now. I feel it, man. Like I'll feel like I'll feel the difference, and I'm only halfway. So
I was feeling it at 1.5 centimeters.
Yeah, like especially if I put on my shoes or something, and I stand around, I can feel it. I see a lot of people PT now. I see them shorter than me, so and I'm starting from a very low height. 5'3.5", 5'4". So I understand what you're saying, but don't focus too much on where you want to get at. I think the standard is 8 and 5, and those numbers should be good enough. 8 in the femurs, 5 in the tibias. That's
a lot of height.
Planetary. Victor says a planetary
height change, right? Or
that's
universal.
Like,
universal.
What was that? About 5'9", I think. But you can just about 5'9".
Yeah, 5'6".
Yeah, but that's barefoot by 5'9". You walk around 5'10.5".
Right, with shoes. Yeah.
Right.
NailedLegs, were you saying something earlier?
Just with the like the Achilles release or the gastrocnemics release, I've heard like some guys on the Discord say that Dr. Donghoon Lee does them.
Yeah.
But it's like a special way,
He
but I
special
don't know the
technique.
specifics. Yeah.
He won't even tell. I tried to ask him about that on an interview that I did way back with him, and he didn't even disclose it. Right? It's a secret. Like that's now him. You can do it with him all day because the guy is a legend in the industry. Like, because he has a special way of doing it, right? That doesn't affect people's running ability because he has patients that are running and bouncing around like bunnies all the time. So,
I heard that he'll even have his patients sign NDAs. I don't know if that's true or people are just screwing around on the Discord. You got
that's
people that
hilarious.
do that, but
I don't doubt it because if he didn't want to tell me that and the secret to his BMAC and stuff, I don't doubt it. Donghoon, what are you up to? All right, let's go. Let's see what's up next. Lose weight pre-surgery. Is it good to help with bone? We heard way over. That's okay. Just a couple more minutes. I swear this is a really good episode. So, yeah, you could. It's going to help you maneuver easier, pivot easier on the walker and stuff. Get around a little bit better, transfer. It's not necessarily going to help your bone grow faster or slower unless you are in a severe caloric deficit, which you should not be before surgery like this. You want to be at like maintenance or even a slight surplus. Let's see. Did many people start to lose hair after surgery? Is that true? Any of you guys? Aaron, anybody lose hair after surgery? I don't think.
No,
I don't
it
know
No.
if
started
it's
growing
too
more on
early
my
to
legs.
tell.
Yeah. I don't. I've never heard of that. I don't think so. I mean, we all went through this. So, all right, couple more. By saying, I'm planning to get the surgery. Would you say that I should get into stretching more beforehand to get maximum results? It's yeah. It should you should definitely do that because it can help you. Um, you know, for one, it's going to help you get on a good routine. Two, it will help you get through some adhesions and stiffness that you might have in areas that you shouldn't have getting into the surgery. And three, it will improve flexibility if you keep it going. So I do think so. It's very important. Aiden did it. These guys did it, and they're getting great results. So, can you lengthen both bones at the same time? Yes.
The surgery would usually be like 3 weeks apart. Some surgeons are pretty reluctant to do it all at once, but yes.
Yes, exactly right. And they had that overlap that they can do that. So, scientist is saying, Victor, does the bone cortex grow back after reaming the nail removed? Yeah. So the cortex is not going to be touched when you remove the nail. And the reaming, they usually don't ream enough to like damage the cortex, or at least good surgeons don't, because during reaming they make the bone cortex thin. They shouldn't, not too thin. I think good surgeons they mention that. In my case, my bone cortex has been reamed thin during nail insertion. So be very careful because you can get a fracture. Like I said, I've had surgeons come on and they have mentioned this. So I'm not sure who your surgeon is, but yeah, be careful. So, all right, I think we're chopping through. We got a few more real quick. This one is for a Gdalovich patient from DJ. Have any nails bent or been broken because they're walking? MD, can you cook, cut veggies, and wash utensils by standing post-op? Like, how do you do your dishes?
Well, I can answer this very quickly because we're running
Yeah,
2 hour
yeah.
fucking. Sorry.
I know.
I don't wash dishes because I hate the environment, so I use plastic everything.
Okay.
The other thing is I use a rice cooker and I just eat from the rice cooker, and I clean the rice cooker thing, but I do all this stuff standing, and I'm not going to. I have not bent or broken my nail. Hopefully, I'll get an X-ray tomorrow.
Knock on wood. That's right. You got the X-rays tomorrow. No, for sure. And honestly, you're under the weight bearing capacity of the nails bilaterally, so you should be good. But definitely check it with your surgeon, whoever you are, because some surgeons are more comfortable with you sitting in the wheelchair. Maybe have a place where you can, get to the sink or an elevated wheelchair, sit on something higher, or just put it in the dishwasher. That's what they're for. So, let's see here. I'm 5'4", 5'4" and 3/4 inch, and my goal is 5'9" to 5'10", and I'm totally okay with it. Oh, okay. He's just commenting. Thank you for answering my question. You're the best, Victor. Thank you. And thank these guys. They're the best, right? Like they're the ones who are contributing. I just provide the platform. They provide the voice. So, all right, last question of the day, and then we'll do a wrap up. Mr. Work, what is the maximum centimeters or inches that you're able to get? 6 inches. So let's actually let's go around this. Let's get Aaron. You want to comment?
Yeah, I mean can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, yeah, awesome. Okay, just making sure. I mean, so here at Paley's, I mean, yes, you could get 6. Dr. Mubumin, I heard, said you could get up to 6 inches. I do feel like you'd have to work pretty hard to do it. Typically, what I would do like 3 inches in the femur, and then once you get those like 8 centimeters in your femurs, then just see if you want to do your tibias next, which typically you can get up to 5 centimeters. Even that's pretty hard to do. So that gives you like 3 plus 2, so that's like 5 inches, but for that extra inch, I think you have to work pretty hard to do. But I think it is possible if you stagger, especially if you stagger your surgery. Don't do it all at once.
Right. If you do it like a year apart, 6 months apart, absolutely. Would you agree, Aaron? Aiden? Let's just get all you guys' take on this. This is the last one.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Vic. I have to step out for a second.
Gotcha. No problem. All right. So
I'm very curious about that. Yeah, I know you guys are about to wrap up, but
yeah,
I'm planning, if I could possibly go up to 6 inches, I would definitely do it. I mean, I would work so hard for it. I mean, it's just after everything I had gone through, I've been through so much abuse, bullied for like 20 years over this, and it's just like I can't let it go that easily. It's just it's crazy. I've been literally suckered through my life so badly, and I would really literally do anything just to get like slightly above average. I know it sounds crazy. I know it's going to be painful. It's a risk. I'm taking a risk, and I'm hoping it works out. But I mean, I know I'll feel great once I get to 5'7". It'll feel amazing. But if I just get to that like 5'10" and a half, maybe, or something around that, because I literally had guys screaming at me as a child and as a teenager, yelling at me that if you grow over 6 feet, you're going to be the worst person in the world. You're going to become the biggest bully. We're going to have to kill you. Things like this that people did to me, it's just insane. It was insane. I mean, these were
Yeah.
my martial art teachers I
Right.
grew up with, and I mean, I don't
You
want to go all into
no,
it.
no, no.
It's
Yeah,
just,
we'll definitely, talk more about your story. But
yeah, it's,
I think you were definitely traumatized. But I think the thing is that when it comes to lengthening
I
goals,
know.
you want to do things that are safe. And some
Right.
people can tolerate more length than others. And as long as you're working as hard as you possibly can, you'll get to a very significant height
Right.
increase. You'll be very happy with it.
Oh, yeah.
And like Aiden said to
Right.
you earlier, look, 3 inches is a planetary level of change.
I
And
know. I
if you're
know.
lucky enough to get 5 or 6, all right, Casey, calm down. That's my dog. He wants to go to the bathroom by
Yeah. No,
himself.
Zach, it's
I
a
mean,
very
I
dynamic
wouldn't,
process, man.
obviously, yeah.
He's like, that's
I
2 hours. Get
know.
out of here. But no, really, it's
I know.
like even we have Socrates commenting here now. I think it's incredible. He's saying 3 inches is a lot, and his life has changed. And
Mhm.
this is one thing that we're literally overriding our genetics. We're basically changing the
Right.
ability that we came into this world as, and to do that, we should be grateful. Yes, we have to pay a lot of money, invest
I
a lot of
know.
blood, sweat, and tears, and just crazy amount of things that people don't have to do. It's an uphill battle, but you have to understand that any increase that you get, and if it's 2 inches, 3 inches, or 5 inches, if you're lucky enough to do quadrilateral,
Mhm.
that is a massive change. So saying, "Hey, I want to
Yeah.
be 6'2" from 5'4," you got to be
Oh,
careful
no,
because
no.
then we also run into
Yeah.
complications that gives the industry like kind of this negative feedback. So I think that kind of wraps up the show. I think this is
I
really
would think,
good.
yeah.
Yeah,
5'10", I'm happy. 5'9", 5'10". I mean, I can deal. I can live with that. I'll be fine.
there you go, man.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I'm there with you, Zach, because I'm
Yeah.
also planning on doing TVS after. It's not like
Mhm.
I'm gonna stay at 5'7" when I'm done here. But
Well, that's the
what
first
I'm
time I've
meant,
heard you say that.
I've talked to Aaron about it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm planning on getting the TVS, but I'll probably do it maybe 2 years after this.
Okay.
I'm really enjoying what's going on right now. I want to make sure it's
Sure.
done safe and record completely enough to then go into the TVS.
Mhm.
But I want to be completely record, and I think you enjoy your first 3 inches a lot
There
because
Yes.
you
you
go.
notice a big difference. Yeah,
It's all patience is what it is.
And I'll tell you, look,
yeah,
from all the patients that I've talked to over the years, a lot of them have these desires to do a lot at first, but when they do the first one, I'd
Mhm.
say 75% of them don't even do the second surgery. A lot of
Right.
them do, but then they get to back to normal and they start to walk around with their new height. Let's say
Yeah.
3 inches. And they're like, oh my gosh, my world's changed so much. I got all the benefits that I was looking for. I'm good.
Right.
And if you want to go back and you're absolutely set on that, great, more power to you. But I'm just kind of pitching it how it is. So,
Mhm.
but
I
hey,
got that.
Yeah, take it
Cedric,
1 inch at a
Cedric,
time.
take it 1 inch at a time.
Exactly. One
Love it.
step at a time. Yeah.
Awesome.
Femurs, maybe 8 cent. No, maybe like 5 centimeters with the femurs, and then maybe 3 for the tibias.
Well, you can, yeah, lengthen and observe. That's all I can say right now because it's
Yeah.
we're not at the surgery yet. Well, we got
Right.
Socrates commenting there. He's spitting some golden nuggets as well and some good knowledge. The wise one. We got him there. But anyway, guys, that was a awesome show. We haven't done one of those jam-packed shows. We had a full panel. I really appreciate you guys showing up, participating, contributing. I mean, look at that. We had Aiden with his X-rays, Aaron with this amazing breakdown and stuff. And everybody else, NailedLegs, your homework is to get a 6-week checkup. I know Ahmed was here. He's going to be done lengthening on the 20th, I think. J-Lo has surgery on the 18th, I think, next Friday or so. I remember things, these mental notes. It comes from talking to a lot of you patients. So, but I'm really, really appreciative of you guys showing up and helping out because this is what it's all about. I can pitch this episode to a prospective patient, say, hey, watch this. These guys talk, they spit knowledge. So I appreciate that. Thank you guys in the chat for asking amazing questions. Give it up to yourself because that really helps to kind of propel this and pull this information out from these amazing patients. So for episode 164 of Limb Lengthening Live, this is Victor from Cyborg for Life and these amazing patients signing out. See you guys next time. Peace. Have a good night.
Thanks.